Looks like everything's starting to lose its color. Leaves and grass no longer green and vibrant as an example. Guess summer's almost over, huh? With that in mind, what's going on today? Kind of interesting, I guess, reading stuff happening around the world. How about this one where apparently in China they're trying to push for more drones. This one says, China's aviation regulator sets up goals for drone industry. Would anybody actually do that, spray painting a letter H in a public, I guess, land in order to designate that as your landing area? This one says, China's civil aviation regulator on Monday proposed a roadmap for development of a civilian drone industry, saying it wanted to boost their use in inner-city logistics and eventually for long-haul goods transport. The proposed plan by the Civil Aviation Administration of China detailed various targets the regulator wanted its unmanned aerial vehicle industry to reach by the years 2025 and 2030 and 2035, including improving regulations and expanding airspace capacity for civilian UAVs. And when they say civilian, I don't think they necessarily mean, for example, just the average Joe using it. I think it's more for things such as drone delivery for civilians, like that type of application, I'm assuming anyways from reading this. It says several companies in China have for years explored the use of drones or box-like robots on wheels to deliver parcels, but widespread adoption has been slow amid regulatory hurdles and heavy reliance on human couriers. The goal is to enhance China's international competitiveness in the field of unmanned aviation, as well as the country's right to speak on international civil aviation rules and standards, and reach the goal of becoming a global civil aviation power, it said. And it says it will be open up for public comment until September 5th. Well, that's a common theme so far in terms of, I guess, growth and innovation. A lot of it does have to do with things like regulation and all that, just holding people back. So let's see, I guess, which country is going to go full steam ahead. I know India is basically trying to be the leader of sort. I would imagine China would have the best chance to, I guess, get ahead since a lot of people do use their products, especially in North America. And then I saw this, where apparently there were hundreds of drones in the video just flying around. They could be CG, but it made me wonder, what is this about? And apparently, from what I gather, it's about giving, I guess, drones to Ukraine. That's what it sounds like anyways. It says, what would happen if 472 soldiers from army of drones are simultaneously flying up the sky? Firstly, it'll secure certain needs of the front line in air reconnaissance. Secondly, it's just an astonishing picture. Thanks everyone who continues to donate and dronate to the U24GovUA project. And you can see in some of the still frames it says like what, 78 DJI Matrice 300 RTKs, 254 DJI Mavic 3s for example. Although I guess with that in mind, since there's a lot of DJI products here, I'm surprised that topic of them claiming, some people there, that DJI is using their aeroscopes to throttle the drones. That's the claim anyways in a lot of cases. So I wonder if that's a factor as well in terms of what types of drones they should be using, especially in a situation of war. And there's a lot of interesting, I guess, medical related news recently, which makes you wonder what is going on. How about here? It says emergency rooms close in BC. Paramedics Union says ambulances unstaffed. Nicola Valley Hospital in Merritt, BC is the latest emergency room in the province to shut its doors due to the lack of staff, joining a series of similar interruptions in service in British Columbia's interior. The closures come as the ambulance paramedics of BC released a statement criticizing the understaffing of ambulance, saying vehicles in Maple Ridge, Fraser Valley, and Metro Vancouver have sat idle this weekend. So it kind of makes you wonder what is going on, because I've even been hearing here there's a lack of staff. There could be various reasons, but I thought what might actually be related, maybe, I don't know. Apparently in Ontario, there were a lot of doctors that have been dying and still continue to for whatever reason. Like this one says like what first? Ontario Hospital Network mourns loss of 3 doctors who died within a week. I mean, wouldn't that sound suspicious, like in general? And then just not too long after that, for example, like this one says Ontario doctor 27 dies after collapsing during triathlon. So is this like a factor too? Are doctors for whatever reason getting sick or quote dying unfortunately for whatever reason? I think one troubling thing about reading that too is it seemed like just from reading it you want to wonder what the cause of death was and all that, and it seemed like for the most part they're just saying it's just a coincidence, natural causes as an example. But when you have that many people within, I guess, the same profession, die within the same time period, there's got to be some kind of connection, correct? So that's a little bit troublesome if people are just saying, okay, nothing to see, move on, and so forth, because I would think there has to be something connected there. To me, that sounds abnormal as well. For example, 27-year-old doctor, for example, doing a triathlon, you would assume they should be healthy and all that too. For them to suddenly die, I don't know how that doesn't raise like some kind of, I don't know, alarm bells to investigate, hey, what happened? Even for non-fatal, I guess, incidents, for example, food poisoning, if everybody within a certain area all of a sudden got sick, doesn't that raise alarm bells? It would make you research, okay, what did you all eat, for example? Could it be something they bought from a specific grocery store? Did you all go to the same restaurant? You wouldn't just say, okay, coincidence, you all just got sick or whatever. Like there, it's kind of weird if they don't actually research into it and just say, okay, just a coincidence, everyone got food poisoning. Alright, see you guys later.